You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
It's coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
We don't leave one of our own behind.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business, Arnold. These are dangerous people.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire on. 3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
What?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Well, I can go back inside and you can still do it.
That's patronizing.
I'm so sorry. Harley Quinn.
Blood sport.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence. Times are hard. You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull. Can do the job for free.
So this is the famous Suicide Squad.
Num.
Any questions?
And
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
we're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Here's the deal. We fail the mission, you die.
If we find out any information you give us is false, you die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
If you cough without covering your mouth.
Harley, although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
What's the plan?
How the hell am I supposed to know?
You're the leader. You're supposed to be decisive.
And I've decided that you should eat a big bag of dicks.
If this whole beach was completely covered in dicks, and somebody said I'd eat every dick until the beach was clean for liberty, I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
This is suicide.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
Don't you worry, eh? I'm gonna get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you out of here alive.
Oh my God! We've got a freaking kaiju up in this shit!
I love the rain. It's like angels are splooching all.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So yeah, I had to throw those two photos in there because I seen that on Facebook earlier today, and I'm just all like, really? It's the Suicide Squad. What did you expect? Like, it's not being edgy. It's actually them being funny. Because I expect this movie to be fucking hilarious. Because you got Harley Quinn. What John Cena said in the movie, that right there had me thinking, okay, yeah, this is about to be funny. It's going to be funny. And I think that's what they're shooting for. They are with the action, but they're also going to be funny as well. Now, the dude thought it was going to be edgy, and I'm all like, no, that's Justice League that was edgy. But, hey, people are entitled to their own opinions and stuff, even though you make yourself look soft. But, anywho, we did get the trailer for Suicide Squad, and that's pretty much what it's called, Suicide Squad. It's not called Suicide Squad 2 or The Suicide Squad. I think it is called The Suicide Squad. But let's say it's looking like it's gonna be a good movie. James Gunn is a really good director when it comes down to movies. I mean, look, he did the Guardians of the Galaxy. He done some other movies, but Guardians of the Galaxy are the only two movies that I could think of that he done made. And I actually did enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy. And he has us really caring for these characters that don't really get that much, screen time or notoriety like Guardians of the Galaxy. I knew who they were when the movie first came out, but they weren't that big when it came down to like superheroes like Iron Man, Cap, and all of them. So James Gunn doing his thing again, and he got like a star-studded cast. Like, he got a lot of people for this movie. And we got Idris Elba, John Cena. Margot Robbie was already in the DC universe as it is, but she's back again. His brother played Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Now he's playing, I think, Weasel. And there's some other characters that are showing up. But the one thing that I am laughing my ass off about the most is Starro. Because Starro is probably one of the most goofiest, just funny looking characters that DC has ever gave us. If you don't know who Starro is pretty much a giant alien starfish. That's pretty much it. It's just a giant starfish. And his whole motive is to like come to Earth, brainwash people, take over. He'll throw a starfish on your face, and that's how he controls you. And it might be a main villain. Hopefully he is, because how he made his first introduction into the DC comic books and DC universe was he was actually the first villain that the Justice League fought. And, we want the Justice League to look like, they're really doing something here. So they ended up not using him for the movies, and they put him in Suicide Squad. But I'm looking forward to it, especially the scene where John Cena said he'll eat a bag of dicks for liberty. That shit there was funny, because you would never think John Cena would say some stuff like that in a movie or a TV show. All his roles that he done played, he was real serious, really, really serious. Now, he has played a bad guy before, and I wish they would have had him play the bad guy in the WWE, but they never did that because they thought, you're always going to be a face regardless. Hopefully, when he does come back to wrestling, that he does get to play a heel, because, Hollywood Cena, just like how they did with Hollywood Rock and Hollywood Batista, these guys went off to Hollywood, came back, now they got a big-ass ego, But we're not talking about wrestling. I'm talking about the Suicide Squad. So Suicide Squad is going to come out in August. And I've seen some people say when movies get dropped in August, they're usually ass. And I'm like, that just because they drop in August doesn't mean that they're bad. Like, who comes up with this logic? I don't understand. I don't know where they get this shit from, but that's where they get this shit from. So all I've seen from the villains that they're using is like Harley Quinn, Bloodsport. There is no Deadshot. Will Smith did not come back for this movie. I don't think Jared Leto's coming back. I don't think the Joker's coming back at all. I don't think any DC heroes like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, any of them, I don't think any of them are making a return for this movie. So it sucks, but I'm like, hey, it's all about the Suicide Squad. It's not about Justice League. Now, I did hear there's a spinoff show for John Cena's character that they are making. So for all you folks that thought he was going to show up at WrestleMania, he still probably could. Probably. I don't think he is, though, because he keeps saying he's not. But then again, he probably could this go around. But he's saying due to him filming for Suicide Squad and also for the whole spinoff show for his character, I forgot his name. I think it's Patriot that his name is, or something, whatever, Liberty, whatever. He pretty much say his character is pretty much the douchebag version of Captain America. So keep that in mind as well. So he won't be in the wrestling ring for a long time. Idris Elba being Bloodsport. Never heard of his character, but I went and looked it up. A lot of these characters you're going to be scratching your head to, because you're like, who are these people again? Who are these villains? Some of these villains don't really play a, prominent role in DC, but they are now because, well, except for Harley Quinn, because Rick Flag is back too. But Rick Flag's not a bad guy. He has no criminal sentence. He has nothing really. He's just the leader of the Suicide Squad. He's the one that's trying to keep them in line. And y'all know what happens if they don't stay in line. They get their heads blown off, thanks to the chip they have implanted in the base of their necks. So, all in all, I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully they drop another trailer before the movie comes out. Somebody told me that this happens after Justice League or in between. Could be going on at the same time. I don't know. Justice League Snyder Cut kind of threw off everybody with the whole, where is this and, the timeline and stuff. And I'm all like, at this point, fuck the timeline. Just drop a movie and they'll probably connect it for us. I'm not going to do the connections because it's like, it's kind of thrown off now. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know if Snyder Cut's going to, the Snyderverse is going to be remade. Cause I've been seeing hashtag save the Snyderverse and all that stuff, which is pretty dope. I do like seeing that, but I've also seen it on posts that don't really talk about the Snyderverse. Like I seen a Stop Asian Hate post on Twitter and Facebook, and I seen people say save the Snyderverse. I'm like, this is not the place to do that, but whatever. But James Gunn is doing mighty fine work when it comes down to this. And I know some people still have, some dislike for the man for some stuff he said on Twitter. And that's understandable. I get why y'all kind of like, what to do right now. I seen the tweets and all that stuff. And it's like, man, how can somebody redeem themselves from the stuff he said? Hopefully that he learned his lesson and that he knows that, you can't always say stuff like that on Twitter. A lot of people do get offended easily nowadays, like Homeboy at the beginning of this video saying that they dropped the F-bomb in the fucking trailer. And it's funny because I'm like, dude, do you know what a red band trailer is? A red band trailer is pretty much nitty gritty. I wouldn't say nitty gritty, but it's more of, hey, look, This is a rated R movie, so it's gonna get a rated R trailer. So that means it's not made for kids. And somebody else said that, this is comic books, like, they shouldn't be cursing like that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm all like, I understand where they're coming from in this one, but it's a Suicide Squad. All right, they're supervillains. Do you really think supervillains really care if a child is influenced by what they say? No, they're not at all. So, I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, though, you guys look at them too. They're supervillains. They're pretty much in prison for life, and they're getting their sentence shortened by 10 years if they go do these missions for Amanda Waller. And they're called the Suicide Squad for a fucking reason. It's because either they do the job or not. And if on the job, it's pretty much a job that Superman, Batman, and others will not take because it's a high chance that they're going to die. And even though Batman has done like some really off the wall, missions that he's done with other villains and stuff, the Suicide Squad are taking these missions that was like, hey, look, there's a high chance y'all gonna die, but y'all still gonna do this mission. So either you go do the mission and die out there, or Amanda Waller blows your fucking head off, or you succeed and you get 10 years shaved off your sentence. So hopefully one of these villains only had 10 years left in prison and they do this mission and they survive and they get out, or they die or whatever. But what do you guys think about the Suicide Squad trailer? I liked it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what John Cena is going to say in this movie, because after the whole eat a bag of dicks on the island, that's hilarious. There's a lot more villains that I didn't touch upon, because I think Mongo's daughter is in this. The Suicide Squad is a big fucking group. This group is big. There's more members on this team than there is on the Justice League team. So we just have to wait to see who all gonna be there, and if there's gonna be a sequel after this. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a sequel after this. But other than that, I love y'all. Hope y'all being safe. Always tune into my Twitch. I'll be streaming Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and sometimes throughout the week, depending on how my schedule looks, if I have the time to do that. But other than that, guys, I love y'all. Peace.